What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about when I think is the best time to sell certain Weiss Schwarz cards. I feel like there's definitely a timing which makes it much more easier and much more likely to happen. I really don't sell that often, so it wasn't something I really picked up on for a little while, because generally I buy the cards I want and I keep them. I would say I'm not a typical collector. Actually, I feel like most collectors buy and sell cards and trade all the time. Whereas for me, I've always bought stuff, and then if I want something else, I have to then buy that. I wouldn't then sell some things I wanted to then get that, which is what most people usually do. And you know, it's called a trading card game, right? But I think I've done one trade, one proper trade for like a graded card in my life, right? So I don't know if this is obvious. Like, I feel like it kind of is common sense, but I don't know. Maybe you guys already know this. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's not as obvious as I think. But if you have cards, Weiss Schwarz cards, let's say you've had them for a few years and you've been thinking of selling them, or maybe you have them like on eBay or anything like that, I feel like there is a time when it's best to sell them, when you're more likely to get more interest. Not necessarily, you know, you'll sell it for a higher price, but generally speaking, Weiss Schwarz is quite niche. Selling certain Weiss Schwarz cards can be very difficult, even at market prices, even below market prices at times. Really depends on the set, the card, and what that IP is. So where the demand is for that IP at that moment in time. That really determines how it will go. And I mean, I'm in the UK. It is incredibly hard to sell Weiss Schwarz cards here. I would say literally at 95% of the time I've sold a Weiss Schwarz SP or a graded Weiss Schwarz card of sort of like SP or higher rarity, it always goes to the US. I always end up sending them back to the US. So I do feel like there is a prime time to sell certain cards, and I've got an example for you guys, because I've recently sold 2 ReZero cards. I'm like looking around for them, but I posted them like 2 days ago. Thought I could show them, but they're not here. I've already sent them. If you have cards, you know, I've had those ReZero cards for, I don't know, probably about 3 years. I think I bought them raw. I graded them with PSA. Both had PSA 10s. It was the Felt SP from Volume 1, and it was the RAM SP from Volume 1. So I've just sold both of them, and they've been on my eBay for a little while. I think I had them up there for a little while, just kind of there. If anyone was interested, they could sort of message me or like send an offer and things like that. Didn't really get any interest. I reduced the price slightly, and I actually posted them recently on the Weiss Schwarz Facebook group and the Weiss Schwarz Discord for sale. And yeah, reduced the price on eBay a little bit to more of a market price. I mean, it's a weird one. It's really hard to track sales for those cards because they are old and they don't come by, you know, you won't come by them often at all. So they are really hard to sort of price up, but reduce the price a little bit anyway. So the best time to sell those sorts of cards, and why I think they've actually just sold now, despite being on my eBay for, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, I'm not even sure, but it's been quite a while they've been up there. I reduced the price by about 15%, I think. So it wasn't like a huge, you know, I wasn't asking for silly money that was just never going to happen, and no one was going to get, you know, send any offers or messages about them. That they were still there, they were still for sale. So I didn't reduce them massively, but the reason they sold, and if I just stop rambling and get to the point, ReZero is currently airing, so that is the perfect time to list ReZero cards. Now, ReZero is getting another set coming out later. Who knows if things are going to be reprinted and things like that. These were on my eBay way before we even knew another ReZero set was coming, way before ReZero was airing. However, they definitely have got more interest right now when I put them on the group and Discord and reduce the price on eBay, because ReZero is airing. So there is people engaging with the IP, people are watching ReZero, and they're interested, and if there's a Weiss Schwarz ReZero set, they're more likely to be interested and you're more likely to get a buyer because of that. And I've seen it many times with many other sets. Another example, Mushoku Tensei. I had a case of Mushoku Tensei. I purposely decided to list this when the newest season of Mushoku Tensei was airing because I knew it was going to sell. It's more likely going to sell at that point in time because more interest in the IP. If you're listing it when it, you know, the last season aired a few years ago and then nothing's going on with that IP, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be some fans of that show, people coming in, people wanting those cards. But personally, I think there's just going to be many more people looking for those cards while the show is airing. Or if they're not looking, they might just see the post and be interested and more interested because they're more connected with the characters and they're more connected with the IPs, having recently watched episodes, right? And I know anyone can pick up a show at any time, but at the end of the day, if it's currently airing, the people interested in the show will be watching it. So I think that's just a little tip I want to give people. Maybe that's obvious. Maybe you guys already know that. I've got no idea. It was just something I noticed a little bit, having been in Weiss Schwarz and considering selling a few things from time to time. For those of you that sell quite often, you might be like, yeah, I figured that out after the first week of collecting Weiss Schwarz cards. But this is the whole idea of the channel. This is the whole idea of why I started making Weiss Schwarz content on my YouTube channel. Was I just want to help people. I just want to be able to provide any information that just even one person might watch and find useful and benefit from that. So hopefully you did. If you've got any questions though, let me know. Let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, if you liked it, please hit like. If you're not subscribed, please hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.